Hi everyone, welcome to my channel again. Um, Today's video will be not really different than the last one I just made, but tiny bit. I went to an art shop recently and I just found a box of Chinese watercolor, and I was getting intrigued by that because like why? And I wanted to make a video to try it too with this commission, and also like for the price it was quite interesting to try. I think the box was like maybe 12 bucks, something like that. It's really not an expensive one, and you can see like the bunch of colors they have. It's cool for first starter. But the thing I read about that is it's slightly different than the watercolor I could use normally, because they use it to, I guess, smudge. In the Japanese art, you have the mountain, the trees on pictures, and it's like kind of blurry, fade, really fade and like dilute. Normally, you use it for that, and apparently, you have to use rice paper, which we probably don't really have here. But for what I got today, it was perfect. It just worked well. And you can see in the second part, like the pigments are rich, but also my maybe only complaint was like I struggle so much to open the tube because it's not the same texture of what I'm used to. It's like, I will say gouache, but not gouache. It's a dense texture like for watercolor, and I was trying to like put it out of the tube and it was hard and not even dry, just like hard, dense. But overall that it was fine. Maybe the blue too was a tiny bit oily for a mysterious reason. Like all the oil of the watercolor just came on the top. I tried to blend it, but I failed completely. But still, it was working very well with that. And in this video, I will just show you the process. You can just see how I'm working. Normally, I do a first layer, like more pale, less opaque than what I'm used to at the end, just to see and to set the color and to try this watercolor. And overall, for now, it's working pretty well. All the colors are easy to mix together. And friendly tip, the kind of brush I'm using in the video, I will just post it down if you want in the comment below, because in watercolor, and I guess acrylic too, but watercolor, you need specific brushes to specific stuff. If I want to cover a big surface of something, this brush is the best, because the more you have, like this one is like thick and large, you can have more water in it. So because it contains more water, you can have it like and do all your big stuff for a longer period than you will do with the tiny precision brush. So enjoy the part of this video, and I will probably talk a bit way later in it. So after the first layer is kind of done, I'm using this brush, and this brush is just amazing. It's a Raphael 310, if I remember right. And I'm saying that and I have the paper in front of me. So yes, it is, and the number is 8394. So you can find it in art shop, or I think even Amazon have it. It's a nice brush. I do basically everything with that. So normally after the first layer is done, I'm just putting my lines all around the colors, just to set my ground, just to like not having my stuff smudge and popping them up. And I also do the shadows with it. Not all the shadows, but like the thicker space, and just to help me to know where I'm going. So that's what you can see in this part. Also, when I'm doing my lines, you can notice too, it's not exactly the same color as the layer down. And depending on your art style, I guess, I prefer to use like different type of color. Like this part will be kind of bluish, just to help the green to pop more. And you will see a tiny bit like soon, I think. I'm using blue, and I always turn to like purple just to mix it well with the green. When you use a complementary color, you always help your stuff to pop more. It's just a tiny trick. If you want to complement a color, always use an opposite one. But that's my style, and it's an obligation to do it. But you will be able to see how it works just now with all the contour lines. I just noticed I missed part of my video for a mysterious reason, and I won't be able to find it back, but that's fine, it's just the beginning. So in this part, if you want to have like nice blending with your watercolor, the trick is to put your color first, like the red I just put, condense it, and just go circle around, circle and circle and circle, but with water. And after, you just like dry your brush on something and just go and just retrieve a tiny bit of water over time. And if you keep doing that until it dries, you won't have like a line around your color, and your blending will be like just nice. So that's a tiny trick. We can probably help a bunch of people, because at first, even when I began watercolor, I was like, fudge, how I can see like people doing that and it's super blend, super cool, just a nice fade, and I can't. So that's why the thing with watercolor, it's fun to do, is like, even if you fucked up, you can always erase just by putting some water or drying your brush and just retrieve some paint. So it's the same trick when you want to blend. You just have to put your brush, dry it, and circle around until you have the blending you want. And you can do that as much as you want. If you want to have more like for example in the cheeks. If I wanted to have more red, I could have put it back and circle around again just to have my nice effect that I want. And with the line technique, just don't be afraid. Even if you do watercolor and it smudge a bit over, like for example the paw, you can always correct it by doing a line, so it's not a big deal. Just keep doing. And sometimes the fun part is when your water just smudge, you can also like use it as a layer of shade or something, and you just see, like I was trying to use gouache at the same time. I don't know, it's just fun to mix it well now. I just begin to be like more used to it. And the palette you just saw was I think it's Himi, the name. I can post it too. It's on Amazon. It's called Jelly Gouache, and it's very fun to use. Very like kind of dense watercolor texture, and it have a nice smell. I don't know. I really like the smell of this box for a mysterious reason. But yes, for this one, I tried to use it too, to just try to find a pop of color in this one, because the difference with watercolor and gouache is like a tiny bit thicker than watercolor, so you can put layer on the top and it's very, very opaque. So I use it too, and sometimes I just blend both. I put out my gouache and I mix it with my watercolor, depending. You can just really have fun and play with that. I think the key while you're doing art is just really have fun and just experiment. And sometimes you find
And
nice
also the
trick, and
fun
it's
thing
very
with
cool.
gouache is like when you want to have a dense color, but you're not very patient with watercolor, or you don't want to just like blend over and over and over, you can just mix it and use your gouache as watercolor too. Just put more water, it will be more dilute, and you can have like a faster result if you're not a very patient person. So for that, it's very nice to just try both if you can, and just play with it and see what you like the most. Like watercolor and gouache gives you a lot of opportunities to try stuff and to experiment with it. And that's what I did. We can't really see on the palette on the right, but I was mixing, I was like doing my watercolor and play as watercolor too with my gouache. So yeah, it's just fun. Just fun, and like you can learn new techniques with that. That's nice. so and the part is coming. I will use a product for the two circle, like two, I think, braids around the tail. It's something you can have on Amazon. It's fine line. I saw that I discovered it by watching a video of Margaret. She was using it, and I was very curious because you can see it's like a needle, so it's very, very precise. And when you put your latex on, it doesn't smudge. You can put it on thin line, and it works. And it works very, very well with that. I think they kind of sell pencils, kind of, in art shop like that, or you can use a brush. But the thing with brush, when you have it liquid and use your brush, it makes a mess, and you have to use a brush you don't really want to, or a silicone brush. You know, the one like you can see in nail art videos and stuff, because it will ruin it. It's just a total mess. I hate it. But with that, it's just a needle. You retrieve the top, you just like cover what you need, and in the be careful with that, in the cover up, you have also like a needle to just put back in to help the latex just to not stick in the tube. And yeah, that's very, very nice. You don't really need to wait that long to make it dry, and after you just have to use, like, I use my finger, but I think you can use an eraser too if you don't want to smudge with dirty fingers, like sometimes I do and I don't think about it, and I'm like, okay, oh no, I just ruined it again because I'm just not careful and not very patient person in general. So yeah, but overall it's a nice product too. I just wanted to do a video about my watercolor and just finished like to do a video about almost all the stuff I have. But the more you have, the more it's the best, I guess. So enjoy that. Enjoy more info. So this is the last part of my video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it was useful. I will try my best to explain like better in the future. I'm not really good at that. I'm trying my best, and English is also not my first language, so I'm sorry if I have sometimes some language mistake. And also I do that in the morning, and coffee's half drink, so not completely drink. It probably plays into that a role. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and if you want, you can like it. It's always appreciate just to see like at least some people watch it. Just makes me happy. And if you have a comment, you can comment below. You can ask me stuff. I will try to put the stuff I'm using on the comment section or in the description. And everything is very easy to find and very cheap too. And don't hesitate to ask me a question, because I think I showed another brush too and I didn't really talk about it because it's kind of the same as the first one. So I can also comment down, I can answer you back. And if you want to see some stuff in the future you would like me to do, I'll be very, very happy to know. And thank you again, and have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.